today's topic is one that I feel is really a extremely important one for you to listen to today, right? It's a very, very important one. And the reason why is because for me, I've created this Facebook group and I've created this group and this company and what I'm doing. And my sole purpose obviously is there to help people make money to become financially free. But I have a bit more of a bigger motivation than that, okay? It's because making money, it's not difficult, okay? Once you got the right strategy, you're consistent, you take actions, and you keep going, there will be a point you'll see results, and then you can compound those results, okay? Making money isn't that difficult, right? What really, truly is my motivation is creating new identities for people, okay? Creating new identities. And what I mean by that is when I talk to people on the phone, and even when I talk to people that are our students and our clients, their mindset and their identities is counterintuitive on what they need to be and who they need to be for them to be able to get the success they want in their life and the results that they want in their life, okay? So it's not about how much money can I make, it's who do I need to become. And I feel that it's a pandemic around the world that people just have the wrong mindset. And honestly, the difference between somebody who is extremely successful compared to somebody who's not is just down to how their brain is wired, okay? And I'm going to be talking about failure, and I will tell you this, okay? You can take two individuals, one of them having a certain mindset of that is not wired for success, and you can take another person who is wired for success. You can take away everything from them in terms of all their money, all their reputation, all their foundations, their mental health, everything that they possibly have, okay? And you can put them in the same position, and 1 year after that, one of them will be in depression, suicide, or in even a worse place than before, and the other one would have built his or her life back up in a way that they are achieving the same results as they were before you got rid of everything, okay? And the reason why I'm saying this to you and saying it so passionately is because this is exactly what happened to me. In my biggest failure, and this is the story that I'm going to share with you, at some point in my life, after achieving amazing levels of success, I was in a position where I lost everything and I had to start from scratch, okay? And the only thing that got me back to where I needed to get to was a few points in terms of my mindset that I'm going to be sharing with you today, okay? And it was really how I dealt with failure, all right? And every single one of us is going to fail in life. And the premise that I want to be really holding on to in this training session today is that failure is the necessity for you to succeed. In fact, if you go and find the person that has failed the most, they are the person that ends up succeeding at the highest level, okay? Why? Because failure creates wisdom. It creates an understanding of what to do and what not to do. Failure is a prerequisite for you to have success in life, okay? And in terms of failure, there goes my tripod. Hold on. Failed. That was an example of failure there. My tripod just went. Okay, back to the point. Okay, failure is a prerequisite for you to succeed. Okay, and the first thing is I find it really interesting is when I talk to somebody and I'm like, look, you should start a business. Okay, you need to start earning your own income. You need to get yourself. You're in a position where you don't like the job you're doing. You're struggling financially. You're working so many hours in a way that you don't enjoy what you're doing. There's no growth. Okay, your company is making you overwork and underpaying you, and you're in a position where the time that is taken to even travel to work and back and do all the work, by the time you get home, you're absolutely exhausted mentally, emotionally. You're in a position where you can't even give that time and quality to your kids because you're just drained. You don't have the energy or the mindset to go to the gym because you're too tired and you just don't have the time. And because of that, your health is going down the drain. You're getting unwell. You're getting fat. You're in a position where you don't have time for your own tarbiyah, to put your kids in Islamic school or this, that, and the other, or the things that you want to do. your energy towards your spouse isn't there and what you want to do there, and you're not going out for dates and enjoying your time together. And really, yeah, you're not in a happy place, okay? So I think what you need to do is you need to create a business, you need to create yourself a lifestyle to get out of that situation, get yourself in a position where you're earning your own income from home in a way that you are now able to earn more money than your 9 to 5 job, and you're in a position where the freedom of time is there. So then you can start going to the gym, you can start going to some other classes, you can spend more time with your family, and you can create a life that you essentially love. You can pay off, buy the house, buy the nice car, get yourself in a position where you can take your family on holiday and create loving, beautiful memories, okay? You have the power to create your life that you want. All it does is making a commitment to start a business. And they say, well, what if I fail? What if I fail at this? What if, and the worst thing is, what if I lose money? Okay, what if I invest money with working with you or in the business or whatever, and it just doesn't work out? What happens then? Okay, so what happens is, and I see this time again, is I see individuals, they accept a way of life that is unacceptable. Okay, that they're submitting their life to living a certain way and having a certain routine and doing certain things because of fear of failure and fear of loss. Okay, fear of failure and fear of loss. And that is holding, like I said, it's a pandemic that is holding so many people back. Okay, and I remember there was one sister that I spoke to once, and she spoke to me saying, I wanted to start a business. And after I said to her, let me know and whatever, and then she messaged me back saying, you know what, I want to do this business, but I'm not going to, I made istikhara and I'm not going to do this business, okay? So what then happened from there, okay, is she decided not to go ahead, all right? So then what ended up happening is she messaged back saying, look, although I decided not to go ahead, I didn't realize, but my husband already made the decision and he already paid for whatever services that you had to offer, and is starting, and because of that, then obviously I'm going to work with you, okay? Can you hear? Hold on. Mariam, can you hear? Can everyone else hear me clearly? Mariam just said I can't hear you properly, so I don't know if it's her or if it's me. Can somebody just tell me if you can hear me clearly? I know there's a lag. Yeah, most of our... Mariam Noor. Yeah, Halim, okay. I think it's just you, whoever can't hear me. All right. So this sister, she said, I don't want to do it. She said, I'm in a position where I don't want to go ahead with you. And then she made istikhara, okay? And she's like, my decision is no. She goes home that day. Her husband's like, I already got you enrolled. 3 months later, her business is doing 20K a month, okay? She's making more money than her 9 to 5 job. And she's somebody that had no business knowledge or experience, okay? So that one decision was changing her life. And she had a mindset of fear, of loss, and so on and so forth, right? So it's mind-boggling. It's ridiculous how people are willing to accept a bakwas lifestyle. Bakwas, for those of you that don't know Urdu, what does it mean? I don't even know what bakwas means. Rubbish or something, right? A bakwas lifestyle, okay, of doing something you don't want to do, working in a place that you don't want to work, just because of fear that it could go wrong, okay? Now, I remember my journey in this. I was working in a minimum wage job, okay? I think I was earning 18K a year, 18K a year at that time, right? And I was like, I need to sort my life out. I need to do a business, okay? So an opportunity came, £5,000 to join a program, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to do this, okay? My family said, Bakwas band kar, if you've seen that meme, right? Don't stop talking rubbish. You ain't spending £5,000. What if you lose that? What if you fail? Okay, what if it's a scam? All these doubts and things started coming around me at that time, right? Now, my nature is this, and this is, I want everyone to listen, all right? Listen to this point, all right? And I want you to engrave this. When the world was saying, what if you're going to fail? The thing that came in my mind is, what if I succeed? What if I win? What if this is the actual thing that changes my life? What if this is that one? And what I did is I made and for me, I took a risk. I made a decision to take a risk. I was like, you know what? And this is me. Like, I do that. I jump into things. I've tried to make a calculated decision, and I enjoy taking risks that are going to give me a chance to earn big, right? I'm lucky I never went into gambling because I would be mental, right? But my point being is, like, that's how I am in the world. I just jump into things. I love the aspect of jumping into a risk that is going to have the chance to take me to that next level, right? And the question that I had to myself at that point in time is, what is the worst case scenario that can happen here? Okay, the worst case scenario is I would lose £5,000. Okay, let's say even more than that. Let's say I had to put more money, thousands of pounds into business, and I lost everything in terms of my money. Okay, let's say the worst case scenario was I lost all my money. Did I still have a shelter over my head? I did. Okay, at the time I was living with parents. I didn't need to pay for a mortgage. Let's say I even needed to pay for rent, okay? And if I lost all my money and let's say even my rent money I couldn't afford at that time. Well, guess what? Worst case scenario, the government would actually help me, right? Either they'll give me a place that I can afford, or they will just give me some income coming in, whatever they call it, with some income support service, okay? So I would have food. Would I have shelter? Oh, well, shelter, I already mentioned that. Would I have food? I would have food, okay? I had food coming, and I don't think there's anyone, no matter how poor they are in the UK, that doesn't have food, okay? If you've got internet connection and a Wi-Fi connection, I thought for myself, I think food will be all right. Worst case scenario, I can live off 50p pot noodles, right? Do I have food? I've got food, I've got shelter. Do I've got clothes? Yeah, I've got clothes. I'm all right. So the foundations is this. If it fails, I'll survive. If I succeed, I'll succeed. Okay? So I took the risk. I didn't listen to everyone else's bakwas, okay? And I enrolled in that program, and I became one of its top students. One of its top students. And from earning about 18K a year, after launching that business with that program, that business did over $1 million in its first year. Okay, straight off the bat, blew it out of the park, became super successful. Okay, not just that, because I got so many results, so many people came to me saying, "Can you teach me? Can you help me? Can you support me?" And I said, "Well, just join the program." And then I realized I could become an affiliate of the program and earn some income from it. And when they reopened, I became an affiliate where I started selling their program as a student that was successful. And I did 1.8 million in sales for them. And I became a top 3 affiliate. Of that, I got 50% commission. So literally for doing nothing, I made 700K pounds, which is close to $1 million, just like that. One decision of investing 5K made me $1 million, my first million, essentially, right? Now, the point is that I want you to understand here is that I'm trying to get you to understand my mindset so that you can start thinking as well, okay? And the reason why is because I am on this mission to help brothers and sisters just like you earn more income. But also not just that, for me, I want you to develop in a way that you're going to be able to attract success, okay? So I've got some massive plans for you in 2013, okay? So if you want to be part of my plans, what I want you to do, and if you want to know the information that I've got available that I'm going to be creating this journey for you, in the comment section, just write 2023, right? 2023, and what I'll do is either me or my team is going to touch base with you and we'll give you access to some training, some information, so that you can then come on the journey of your own that we've laid out for you. So just if you want my help, feel free to go to the comment section and write 2023, all right, which is next year essentially, right? So, okay, going back to my story, yeah? So I made my first million. I had two successful businesses, which essentially were doing a million each a year. Um, uh, was was in a position, was absolutely killing it. Alhamdulillah. I was taking that money. I was reinvesting in my learning. I was taking more risks by giving that money to other people that I knew would be able to grow and give me the knowledge and information and mentoring and support that will help me scale at the next level. Okay. And Alhamdulillah, I supported and helped so many people achieve such amazing results. And then came, are you ready for it? The biggest failure of my life. The biggest failure of my life, okay, which again is the topic of discussion today, right? So what ended up happening is for me, I created an amazing, beautiful community who I was helping get amazing results, okay? But at that point, I was still in a position, I was fairly new to business. And for me, it wasn't just about making money off this community, it was about serving this community. And the way I felt was, I want to bring in other people who will be in a position that they have more knowledge and experience than me. They've achieved amazing results and they can also work with me to serve this community. Okay. So what I did is I brought in two individuals that I had somehow connected with through my journey. And there was a commitment and agreement that we would be partners in supporting this community and moving forward. Okay. And this is a community that was collectively doing $1 million a month with the businesses that I helped them to develop. Okay. So the results were phenomenal, right? So what ended up happening from there is one of the individuals created a certain project that was going to be launched under the business. And at the same time, we were all committed to run with this project. Okay. So at that time, all the money I had made, I put into this. All the businesses that I had created were put into this. This was my focus. I was 100% in. And again, the same way I take risks, I believed in it so much that I took the risk of putting everything into it because I felt that this is the one thing that is going to get me to my goals much quicker, much faster. Okay. Long story short, the business failed. Okay. The project failed. And the reason behind it was the two partners that I brought in had a massive dispute. Okay. There was massive problems with the project in and of itself. And on top of that massive dispute with the two business partners, there was allegations both ways. There was one partner creating content and videos against the other partner, saying he committed some fraud and so on and so forth, which resulted in the other one taking legal action against him. That was communicated all to the following. And within a space, within that whole time frame, I lost everything. Okay. I lost my whole business. Okay. I lost my reputation of supporting people and achieving amazing results. I lost my own mental health in a way that I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of fear. I had a lot of depression at that time. I didn't know how I was going to survive. I was in a position where I was hit. I was at rock bottom, right? I was at rock bottom. I lost everything, right? Bad reputation, lost all my money that I made, lost all the businesses that I set up. And the worst of it all was just losing my mind, right? I literally just, my body language, my mindset, who I was and who I became at that time was really the worst version of myself. Like I had days that I just would collapse on the floor and just couldn't get up because my stomach just had so much anxiety in it, right? It was the worst, okay? And it was my biggest failure. Okay, it was my biggest failure at the time. And some of that was my fault. Some of the mistakes that I made, some of the decisions I made were the cause of it. And I had to take responsibility of that, right? And there was regret. There was a bunch of emotions there. And having such a hard hit, and no matter how many hundreds of thousands I spent on personal development, from learning from people like Tony Robbins, who are the best in terms of mindset. At that time, when I was at my worst, it just wasn't enough, right? It wasn't enough for me to just get up and get going. So there was a point in time, and the analogy I gave is, imagine a house is burning down. A house is burning down. Am I just going to burn with it? Okay. And the only way to really succeed is just focus on the fire exit and run towards the fire exit. And for me, the fire exit was just start another business. Start another business. And I remember at that time, I called my partner now, Osman, who is my cousin and somebody who understood my journey, and he's a ride or die type of character, right? And I said to him, look, let's start it together. Let's get back on the wheel. There's no point in me just sitting there being depressed and so forth. Let's keep it going, right? And when you're starting from a clean sheet, I was like, what businesses shall I go for? What shall I do, right? And there was one idea that I had, which is the one thing I'm good at is lead generation. Why don't I focus on creating an agency that creates leads for somebody that has a high ticket offer, right? Which was property sellers, essentially buyers and sellers. So what I had an idea with at that time was, I can go and start talking to these estate agents, right? Say to them, I'm going to find you people that want to buy and sell their house. Now, if I get those people, for that company, it's going to be very high value, because they say that I got somebody to sell their house. That estate agent might make 1% of that house sale, which is in the tens of thousands, okay? And they'll be willing to pay me a couple of £1,000s for that service. And all I need to do is run some social media ads, okay? Which I know how to do. So I started doing it, and I did something that I've never done before, which was door-to-door knocking, okay? So me and my partner Osman, I remember it was like burning hot. We were traveling, and we had a list of all these maybe 20, 30 estate agents within our area, and we were going one after the other, knocking on their doors and talking to them. And I remember there was this one instant where the person opened the door, they looked us up and down. I said to them, this is what we do. They just said, I'm not interested, and shut the door in my face, okay? And I was like, it was such a humbling moment, because I'm somebody that had achieved a multi-million-dollar business ventures, right? And a foundation that I created, and a multi-millionaire is coming to your business to help you grow, and you're just shutting the door in their face. And it just reminded me how humbled I was, and how, what level I got to, right? It was a cute moment. Okay, so long story short, it was kind of there not. Then I tell you one thing, right? Allah always plans for you, okay? And the biggest failure that I had was all in the plan that Allah had for me, for the reasons that He knows best, right? And in your journey, Allah will close doors and He will open doors for you, okay? And He will open doors in ways that you do not expect and you can't even imagine, okay? And when I was at my best level, I remember going to one event, which I wasn't even going to bother go to, okay? And I ended up spending thousands of pounds for a stupid VIP ticket, which was irrelevant, okay, just to sit on a table that was closer to the stage, okay? Now, when I was there, I bumped into a little kid who was about 18 years old, doing a couple of £100,000 a month on e-commerce. And I was like, yeah, cool, well done, great job. And he just added me on Instagram after that, because he realized who I was and what I had achieved as well. So hadn't spoken to him, and out of the blue he messages me saying, hey, I've just created some training, can you just go through it and implement it, you know? I was like, sure, why not? I did it, and results started coming straight off the bat. And I was like, I started with e-commerce, why am I not going back into e-commerce? So I went full blast into this, got amazing results, got back into it, figured out the updated strategies, and I was back in the game, okay? Not just that, I then created the e-com experts to then model what I did in the past, but not make those same mistakes and failures that I did in the past. Okay, so for me, this was like, okay, for the next 10 years, this is my focus, this is my commitment. I'm gonna get myself to the levels that I need to get to. I'm gonna support and build that audience back up, and create a community once again, with the intention of helping them achieve amazing financial results, helping people get out of their 9 to 5s and create a life that they want, helping them to create the best versions of themselves, and most importantly, so that we can create a powerful community that is going to create a powerful impact on the world. And what we can do, like before, when I had my first community, we created hundreds of water wells, we built mosques, we helped heal the blind, we created so much positivity in the world. And that is the power of money, okay? That is why I'm doing this. I'm power hungry, okay? Not in a way that I am doing it to fulfill my ego, but I know by me becoming as wealthy as I possibly can, that allows me to create the powerful, positive change for the people I love and for the world around me. And that is going to create me, inshallah, a better place in Jannah. That is why I'm doing this, okay? So, point being is, I created my biggest failure, and no matter how painful it was, no matter how depressing it was, no matter knowing that if it didn't happen, where I would be today, and the regret of that and all that sort of stuff, it had to happen. Okay, it had to happen. I needed to lose everything. Okay, and Allah has this thing where He will give you what you want. Okay, whether it be a relationship, the person that you love the most, whether it be the money that you want, whether it be achieving a certain physical health result that you want, okay? And then He will take it away, okay? And He will remind you, stop chasing those things, stop being a slave to those things, okay? And realize why you're on this earth, okay? Which is to serve God and serve humanity at the end of the day, right? Focus on your goals, get back on the wheel. And I remember who I was back then. I was a slave to my desires. I was a slave to showing off. My Instagram post was, look, I'm flying business class, I'm driving a Lamborghini, I'm wearing this, I'm doing this. And really, it was just to impress people. Now I don't care what people think about me, okay? And that was the best thing that I got from it. Like, I divorced myself from the opinions of people. I divorced myself from having to have that amazing lifestyle and being accepting having the worst and a basic car and living in a basic house with basic food, okay? When you're okay with that, that is when you're truly rich. When you're comfortable with the most simplest life, that is when you're going to be the most happy, okay? And when you have money on top of that, and when you have a lot of money on top of that, that is when you enjoy the life the most, because you're not dependent on the money, but you're just in a position where you accept it and you're enjoying it, but you don't need it. You don't need it to fulfill your ego, right? So going back into the story, I'm on that mission. I know what my vision is, and I know I will fail many, many times going forward. But that is going to be the secret sauce to my success. I'm willing to fail. I'm willing to make mistakes. I'm willing to get hurt. I'm willing to lose, okay? And the reason why I'm willing to do all those things is because I have made a decision that I'm not accepting a mediocre lifestyle. I'm accepting getting myself to achieve the best version of myself and achieve phenomenal results, okay? And I'm going to get myself out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to put it all on the line to make sure that I get there. And if I get there, then I will get there, inshallah. One way or another, I will achieve what I'm set out to achieve. And if I fail, and if I lose everything, whether it be my reputation, my money, my health, my mindset, I'll still be okay. Allah's always guiding me and watching me. Whatever bad I've done or doing in my life, Allah always helps me one way or another, okay? And that is how loving Allah is at the end of the day. He will, no matter where you are and what you do in your life, He will support you through your journey, okay? As long as you've got that intention there for helping the world and doing good, okay? So you will survive. You will have food, you'll have shelter, you'll have clothing. And if there's one call to action I would really say for you is change your mindset. Get yourself away from what if I lose and get yourself in a mindset of what if I win. Okay? What I want to ensure is, look, we've got 1.5 months or 2 months left in this year. Let's focus on building that foundation of that business and creating that life that you want. And thereafter, the next year, let's focus on it to build it into a massive, massive beast of a success, so that by the end of next year, you have achieved something that you've always dreamed of and you couldn't even comprehend. It just takes that one decision. All right. So if you want my help in that journey, just comment again in the comment section 2023. That's all you need to do. I'll message you and I'll give you the journey that you need to go through. If you don't want to work with me, that's fine. But make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have a goal. Make sure you have a vision. Make sure you have invested in somebody to get some sort of support and not fear whether you're gonna lose money or not, or you're not gonna do or achieve the results that you want or not. Okay, I'm telling you, you will benefit manyfold if you just commit. Okay, so jump in, take action, have a goal, and make that commitment. All right. So failure is a part of life. Failure is a necessity for you to succeed. Failure is the secret to success. Failure is inevitable. Failure is your secret sauce to become wise and have wisdom. And no matter how much you fail, you're going to be okay. No matter how much you lose, you'll survive. And no matter whatever the case is, Allah will always support you and protect you and guide you. He will never give you a test that is going to be beyond something that you cannot handle. No matter how deep depression I got, no matter how rock bottom I got, no matter how much I didn't want to live anymore at that time, Allah helped me through that and I got back out of it. This time, this journey that we're on this world is short. It's a few years. Why are we acting like we're here forever? Why are we so defensive? Why are we playing so small? Wake up. Why don't we have this fire in us to go and take over the world? Why do we not have this fire that we're just going to go in and go in and really push ourselves? Why are we just accepting a mediocre life to just do the same thing day in and day out? Why don't we have this fire in our hearts to go in and take over and achieve something amazing? Like on your deathbed, are you really just going to just accept living a mediocre life? You've got a few years on this earth. Make the most of it. What's there to lose? Even if you get homeless, one way or another, somebody will give you a house, you get food, shelter and clothing. Stop acting like such a... Let me find the right word here. Stop acting like such a... Let's change the word. Not let's stop acting like. Start acting like the best version of yourself would. This is, do you know what? I'm going to give you such a powerful quote I heard this week. And it hit me hard. It said, become the man that you want your son to become. Become the man, or let's say even the woman, or let me say another version of it, but become the version of yourself that you want your son to become. Become the woman that you want your daughter to become. So what tends to happen is people come on our program and they get results very fast. They launch a business and they start making sales. They're overblown in terms of the knowledge that they got, the fact that they're seeing sales and money coming through within 1 to 3 months is the first time they've seen money being made. That changes their mindset and shows them what is possible. Okay. Now, in terms of those that don't see success and those that don't see sales and they don't see results, I normally see a kind of trend of why that happens. Okay. And the first one is that they just don't put enough money behind ad spend. Okay, you obviously, for you to make money, you need to spend a bit of money. Okay, the second thing is you just don't launch enough products. Launching enough products and doing enough ad spend. Okay, so what I would say is then the main focus is this month, Huda, let's launch you the next 5 to 10 products, but depending on your budget. Okay, so the way you want to do it is look at your past history, what has worked the most, and this is, I'm telling you, we're in the last quarter where sales are going to increase dramatically because of the fact that it's Christmas and people are going to be shopping. So it's a golden time. Okay, so let's have that positive mindset that you're going to launch your next 10 products. Okay, what I want you to do, Huda, is, and anyone else that needs some support that may be struggling, just drop me a message and say, can you connect me with the support manager so I can get some further mentoring and support. Okay, what we'll do is we'll connect you with one of our mentors, and we'll commit to working with you to launch your next 10 products. Okay, and giving you the support and guidance and the energy behind that for you to start getting some results coming in and some better results through the door. All right, now another good news is, and there was another news that I'm going to be putting forward, is I'm actually launching a membership site. Okay, I'm launching a membership site where I'm actually going to be adding some more strategies that are much easier to start making money a lot quicker and a lot faster, right? So for example, I've got a strategy to start making money very easily using eBay. Okay, I've never shared it before, but it's so easy, I can almost guarantee you guys making money with it. All right, it's literally, and it's, you can do it without investing money and at all. Yeah, it's easy. So anybody that really starts struggling more, I'm happy to give you some access to that information so that you can test out a few things and start building up to the higher, more advanced things as well. But the main thing is things take time. You're going to fail a lot before you succeed. But the main thing is that consistent action needs to be there. Those consistent efforts need to be there, and that consistent goal and so forth needs to be there as well. What we want to do is, first and foremost, give you an understanding, a clear idea of how the business model works. Okay, so what is the elements of the business? How does it all make sense? Okay, the second thing is in terms of how are we going to support you. All right, so I'll give you a quick summary. So in terms of the business model in and of itself, what we're going to focus on is creating an elite premium brand and website. We're going to then add products onto those websites to sell. Okay, now there's many people that do this, but we have a secret sauce which I call the hyper launch method. Okay, so in terms of the hyper launch method, is many people make the mistakes when they try to start this business by selling products they see everyone else selling. So they may even go on websites that say sell these products, but 1,000 other people have done it, right? Now, the reason why our students get such amazing results is because we focus on getting products that have certain criteria to be massive successes, but we look at those criteria on products that have just been released by suppliers. So in that way, we become first to the market, okay? And what we do is we start selling products that no one else is selling, okay? So what happens then is people, when they see the advertisement, they're like, oh wow, this is different, this is new, this is unique, okay? Facebook likes it because you're not just doing what everyone else is doing, and you essentially have no competition, all right? So we add products that are premium, high quality products, have a very good margin, and we can create a big margin because no one else is doing it. And then what we do is we run social media ads to those audiences that are going to like those products, okay? So then when we see that we can spend £20, for example, on a product to buy a customer, and we've got let's say a £50 margin. Let's say we get a watch for $50, we sell it for $50, it costs us $25 to buy a customer using social media ad. That means for every purchase, we make about $25 profit, right? Let's assume. Now, let's say we scale it to making 100 sales a day, okay? That is around $2,500 profit per day doing nothing, okay? Because you don't need to buy the products up front. You only buy it when you get an order coming through from the supplier. The supplier sends the products for you, so the shipping's all automated. So all you really just need is your laptop, and you could be making £1,000 to £2,500 or dollars a day in profit just by letting your ads run. Okay, it's obviously it sounds simple, but it's not, in the sense that when you are starting, there's a learning curve. Okay, there's it takes time to find those products, but when you do, you can scale them to be earning so much money by doing hardly any work after that, once you've figured it out for yourself, right? So the business model is very beautiful, it's very powerful. It's a dream model, in the sense it's automated, and it's just giving you a lot of money for a very less effort. And the way we work with you is we provide you with the education program, which is a hyperlaunch program, where it teaches you A to Z, step by step, how to set up the site, how to select the products, how to launch the products, and so forth. And it's done for people that are complete newbies and don't have business experience. And then the second thing is that we provide you, and for me, it's very important that we handhold you through the journey, okay? So it's not just about saying, here's a course, go and figure it out. We add you to a group where we analyze your products, we analyze your websites, we answer your questions, and this is a group without your mentor, who's gonna go and handhold you through the process to ensure that you get success and you get the results that you want, okay? So point being is, we work with you one-to-one throughout the journey to ensure that, and the goal is for you to make your first $1,000 in sales within the first month of launching. Within the first 3 months, we want you to make your first 10K in sales with about a 30% profit margin. So within 3 months, we want you to make your first 3K in profit. And then once you've figured that out, we want you to make between 10K to 100K a month in revenue with this model at about 30% margin. So minimum you should be making is about 3K a month. But once you're about 100K a month in, you could be making about 30K a month. So you could be making a 1 year salary in 1 month, basically. That's the goal for the first year of working with us, okay? And then from there, what we want to do is build that and then sell that business and that website for a 6 to 7 figure sum, and that brand, so that you can have a big cash exit and you can use that to go and buy your house. All right, brothers, sisters, thank you so much for jumping on this call today. It's been a pleasure to connect with you all, and I will see you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.